shirts. Arsenal in their traditional red shirts with the white sleeves. Ashley Grimes, one of the substitutes. And away we go, with Luton attacking the goal to our right. Johnson, the best little spell though for Luton so far, with 13 minutes of the game gone, 0-0. And a free kick for Luton.
I think Harford's header there against Lukic is important psychologically, and they'll be thrusting balls into that area because Harford is not only brave, he's a magnificent jumper, and they'll be very wary of him, particularly if he can pull away to the back post against the smaller Arsenal fullbacks.
Which is what he's done just now. Thomas has gone there to watch him. Harford getting in on this one. Foster's in there too. There's a chance for Luton. Steen has scored. Well, the underdogs with 13 and a half minutes gone, and Brian Steen with his 17th of the season. By Priest. Foster was in there, important touch by him, and suddenly he's a good finisher, Brian Steen, and proved it there again at Wembley to put Luton ahead.
Because it was Harford that forced the issue. There's three men jumping with him, and then Foster's nicked it through, and maybe Caesar's looking for the offside decision.
Always has been a good finisher.
Yes, he sides-footed, he passes it into the net like the great Greavesy.
Rocastle. It's gone past Priest. Well, he didn't get past Priest, I suppose that's the point. It's a free kick. So the ball got past, but not the player. Niall Quinn warming up. Maybe just as a precaution in case there is a problem with Rocastle. I suppose if it stays this way much longer, he might be tempted to throw 6'4" striker in to add a little bit more power up front, David.
Yes, but it would only lead to more frenetic play and more crosses into the box, and you know they're unable to prize Luton out of position, and that's what they need to do at the moment. And I feel they would be better off getting extra width on the outside. Rocastle was more influential, certainly. I think wider, and he's beginning to play a little bit now.
There he is, recovered from that knock. Free kick to Arsenal. 35 yards out. Paul Davis behind it. Good chip by him. Foster with the header. Might go anywhere. Oh, Hayes has made it 1-1. That becomes an inspired substitution. And the goal that Arsenal had threatened for much of the second half has finally arrived.
Well, it came that way, didn't it, Brian? There was a pure scramble. I mean, they tried to claim that Foster was holding. It looked like almost an amateurish free kick, lofted up into the 6-yard box, loads of bodies, and then a ricochet that fell kindly for Arsenal. But there it is now. We have a wonderful game on our hands. Wonderful game.
1-1 the score. Maybe the balance has swung Arsenal's way. Although on the break you get the feeling that Luton can be just as devastating.
It's lovely to see how young Black's taken the pressure of this game. He's a very mature boy. I always thought he was an introvert, and I doubted whether he would have enough authority to make a player. But John Moore was a tremendous influence on him and persisted, and in the end he persuaded us to sign him.
Thomas, and now Smith, the great chance now! He's put it into the back of the net, and Arsenal are in the lead! One goal in his last 9 games until today. All that's forgiven now as Alan Smith brings Arsenal from behind into a leading position with this goal here, driven with great force with the right foot, past Andy Dibble.
It was excellently taken, but there must have been a question mark there from that angle. It looked as though he'd gone far too wide, the first touch. Maybe not, over cover there, and they're succumbing to the pressure. The fitness, I think, is...
Rocastle. Penalty given as Rocastle is brought down. Arsenal get a penalty. Well, Michael Thomas has been taking them for much of this season, but Nigel Winterburn, who's only ever scored once for Arsenal, and that's in the quarter-finals against Sheffield Wednesday. And with Martin Hayes also, who's taken a lot of penalties last season. Curious decision, this. Well, let's see. Winterburn. Saved superbly by Dibble. Genuinely good goalkeeping save there. Caesar. Oh, he stumbled. Can Black get in there? Steen! Steen! And it's in there! I think it was Danny Wilson who got the last touch, and Luton are back at 2-2. He wants to, and he's made sure that we have to believe it. Kingsley Black, after Caesar had fallen, a little touch there to Brian Steen. The first one is charged down. Steen gets another touch, and in the end it's Danny Wilson who tucks it in to make it 2-2.
Well, Luton have never given up. They've kept at it, and they've got a break, and you may say they deserve the break, and now at least once again Arsenal have got to come and...
Steen, this is Mark Steen. Oh, that's a foul by Tony Adams. Free kick to Luton. They want Vic Foster to go forward for this, and he is. Terrific influence on this game today, and who knows, he might yet have the last word. Word there with Ashley Grimes about how the free kick should be taken, and Ray Hart gets back to the bench.
I think Ray'd like to take it for him, Brian.
Chip in there by Danny Wilson. Now Grimes. Pick the outside there, Steen! And Luton are ahead in the very last minute. It'll take a monumental effort now by Arsenal to get back on level terms, and the underdogs look as though they are going to have the last word. What an amazing cup final this is turning out to be. You would hardly have given Luton a price 10 minutes ago, and now suddenly they've gone back level, and now Brian Steen has made it 3-2.
Yes, it was Brian, and it was a superb ball from Ashley Grimes, outside of his left foot, clever ball, and I think overall it's about right.
You might be a little biased, former Luton manager.
I hope I haven't shown that too much, Brian. It's been a good second half. It's finished.
It's finished, and Luton have won their first major trophy. They've tried for so long, since they were formed back in 1897.
Really an inspirational character is Foster. He's led the club brilliantly in his years there. He came from Aston Villa reserves.
Well, this action never changes, as he'll lift the cup. It's just that the faces do, and that's a new face and a new club. The name goes on the Littlewoods Cup, Luton Town FC.